Greetings, fellow travelers. Welcome to the 72nd level of the RPG Cave. I'm one of your hosts, level 99 Human Archmage, and I'm joined, as always, by the level 99 Black Friday shopper, Human Black Friday shopper, Mr. Garret Bland. Garret, how are you doing on this lovely, lovely Monday evening? Good sir, a holiday week for you, I might add.
It is a holiday week-ish. Yes, I got a couple days off later in the week. Thank goodness. I'm doing good. I'm ready. You know, these monsters in this level, they're pretty tough. They're getting tougher each level, in every level. But do they know that for $1, they can try to subscribe to Game Pass for 3 months if you're a new user? And that's just a ton of games right there. A ton of RPGs for you. PC, Xbox, go get it, $1.
I love how you just turned into Sean Capri all of a sudden, because Sean Capri earlier this week sent a message to Aaron Greenberg basically saying that people should just be tripping over Game Pass subscriptions at this point.
Yes.
And that it should come with every Xbox. So I think you and him are like best buddies now, by the sounds of it.
The Game Pass, man. It's
good.
Real.
It's a heck of a good deal, one might say.
It's a great deal for RPGs.
Yeah. I mean, PlayStation Plus is also on sale too at the moment. It's 25% off. But you probably don't need it for RPGs. Although actually the extra tier for PlayStation Plus, I shouldn't say that. The extra tier for PlayStation Plus is actually pretty good for RPGs. There's a lot of Garret RPGs there, but don't get that premium tier. There's like 2 RPGs on it. So there you go. But anyways, this is the RPG Cave where we talk about RPGs all the time. So folks, if you want to support the show, there's a number of awesome ways you can do that. Number one, if you're watching the live stream right now over at youtube.com/carpoolgaming, or if you're watching the video on demand later, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then ding, 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 ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we put up new videos. Although apologies to everyone who had the notification bell turned on this week, because it probably spammed you like crazy, because we released like 12 videos last week, so we kind of went a little nuts last week, so sorry about that.
That's awesome. Content like crazy. Content Game Pass right there.
Yeah,
that is carpool gaming for you.
And y'all thought too that the week of reviews was over, so Ryan didn't possibly have any more reviews again, but then I just put one out this morning again. So I mean, that's just what we do over here at Carpool Gaming. Of course though, if you're listening on audio feeds, don't forget to subscribe to us if you haven't subscribed to us there already, and then rate us if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Also, if you want this show a little bit early, or other shows, or some exclusive content like the brand new episode of the Yumi Capri podcast that we recorded last week, head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Throw a little tip in the old tip jar, and out comes content. And then last but not least, if you want an Xbox Drive t-shirt like the one I'm wearing, or an RPG Cave t-shirt, or any other t-shirts, head on over to our merch store, bit.ly/CPG merch. And in fact, our patrons are currently voting on our newest t-shirt design that might be going up pretty soon, guys. So you might want to check that out as well over on the Patreons. Anyone at the $1 or higher level gets to vote on that. But enough about all that. It's time to read from the sacred papers or news flyers or Black Friday deals. We're going to read from the Black Friday deals today, Garret, not from the sacred text, because of course it's Black Friday week, 2022, and we thought it'd be fun to do a whole special focusing on the big deals that are happening right now. Of course, it's one of those things where if you're listening to the show a week or two from now, it won't make any sense because you won't be able to get any of these games on sale. But if you are a keen listener of the show or viewer of the show, you'll be able to take advantage of some of these sweet, sweet deals for some sweet, sweet RPGs. So Garret and I are going to talk it out tonight. And Garret, I think, focused more on, American pricing, whereas I'm in Canada, so I'm going to focus on Canadian pricing. I didn't bother to do all the conversions, so apologies in advance. So any prices I quote will be in Canadian dollars, and any prices quoted by Garret will be in American dollars.
We're ready to confuse everyone.
Yes,
let's go.
Exactly. We're one step away, Garret, from starting to name these episodes using fractions for the numbers, just like Kingdom Hearts does. But
oh goodness, no, please.
Yeah. So let's start with some of the deals, some of the best deals, because I kind of want us to kind of recognize some of our favorite games that are currently on sale. They don't even necessarily have to have the biggest sales, but I think games that you should be seriously looking at, maybe regardless of the price. And we'll obviously talk about the price as we talk about them. And the one game I want to bring up as the perfect example of this, and you might have this on your list as well, Garret, but it's Soul Hackers 2. It came out earlier this year.
Yes.
I did a whole review for it on the channel, so you can go back and listen to that if you're interested in hear kind of my full thoughts on Soul Hackers 2. And it's a game that I know a lot of people really passed up on when it came out, because I think there was a lot going on when it came out, and it didn't really get like the greatest reviews when it first launched. But the game itself, speaking from experience, I really enjoyed it. It's actually one of my personal favorite RPGs that I played this year, and it's actually on for a pretty good price. So currently, if you want to get it digitally, it's actually a little more expensive. It's $55.99 Canadian, or if you want to go for a physical copy of it, it's actually much cheaper. It's $39.99 Canadian physical, which is actually pretty darn cheap for this game, because this is a an $80 game here in Canada. So it's basically half off if you get if you get the physical version. And I think it's well worth your time. It's worth your it has like a good bang for your buck kind of value. It's also like a great RPG that doesn't overstay its welcome, where it's not like super long. Like you can beat it in 20 to 25 hours and just have a great experience with it. And I really like it. If you like the Shin Megami Tensei games, I think you'll enjoy it too. So Soul Hackers 2 is the first game I kind of wanted to, take the highlight marker and kind of highlight here as a deal y'all should look out for. Did you have that on your list?
Do you want me to explain the U.S. pricing?
Yeah, absolutely.
I will tell. So I'm going to show off the Soul Hackers 2 pricing. I got it from Wario 64. Originally, it's $60 in USD. It doesn't matter. PS4. Maybe PS5 70, I'm not sure, but when I looked on Amazon, it was
it's a free upgrade. So if you got the PS4 version, it comes with PS5. Yeah.
Got it. So it's half price, $30 for the physical copies. I did not check the digital ones, but typically it's gonna be 20% off or 30% off. So it's gonna be either 48 USD or 42 USD. That's typically where that kind of the first cutoff is for those sales. So yeah, go check it out. Soul Hackers 2.
Yeah, really, really good game. And again, it's just the top of my list. I actually think, again, like I think it's the best discount on a game that came out this year that's worth your time, I think. At the games that are there. Cool. So definitely, like, if you see Soul Hackers 2 on your shelf, definitely check it out. Also, this is one of the only cases where the physical versus digital disparity is that much different. For the most part, here in Canada, the prices are the same across the board, whether it's digital or physical. I do have one more example that we'll get to a little bit later, but that's the one I wanted to highlight first. But Garrett, what's one game out of all the games you saw on sale that's like you want people to really, really, really consider picking up during Black Friday? Which is the game that you want to sell people on?
So yeah, I kind of just went through basically all the deals I've gotten to Fanatical, Green Man Gaming for Steam deals and PC deals in general. I went to, of course, Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo, see what the deals are there. And of course, Wario 64 is a great Twitter account to just go for daily deals. That man's a machine. I don't know how he does it. But the one game I want to recommend, it's getting a good cut. And I think it's going to be a great buy for this price. Monster Hunter Stories 2 is going on sale for a lot, actually, quite a bit. For Steam specifically, Monster Hunter Stories 2, originally $60 on Games Planet right now, and I'm sure other websites are going to be like this, 15 USD.
Dang.
So it's down, it's down 75%, just slashing it off. If you look on Switch, it is 20 USD. So even digitally on Switch, it's a good price. I played through this game last year. It's one of my, I don't think I actually named it the top 5, but I really did enjoy it of what I played of it. It has a good gameplay loop. It reminds me a lot of like Pokemon, but it's not as freeform with like gathering monsters. Like you do gather monsters, but it's not as much, and it's a little bit more complicated, and there's more depth to the monsters themselves compared to Pokemon. There is a story to it. I think it's nice. There's for sure some performance hitches in there, as with the Switch specifically. It's pretty limited, but I'm sure on PC it runs flawlessly. I'm sure on Steam Deck it'll run just great as well. It is a beautiful looking game, even on Switch. It's the animations are kind of just all over the place. Great character design. The story kind of dragged on a little bit. I think I played for like I would say like 40 or 50 hours or something like that, somewhere around there. But overall, I had a great experience with this game. I think this is a great dollar per gameplay hour game of recent. So yeah, go check out Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Nice.
Only on Steam and Switch.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring in Sean Capri from the chat here, because Sean Capri asks, first of all, wait, this game's on Steam? Because I guess he didn't realize that it eventually came to Steam eventually, but then he asked how much it is, and the reason I wanted to bring this up is because of the time we're recording this, because the Steam sale actually doesn't start till tomorrow. We actually don't have Steam prices tonight during the show, so any kind of PC prices we're gonna list off are not like from the Steam store directly. That doesn't mean you can't buy a Steam key from somewhere else, as you mentioned, Garrett. But the Steam sale specifically is for tomorrow. So just FYI about that.
Yes. Well, this one's from, actually I have the link. I have an Excel spreadsheet right here. So I'm sure Sean Capri would love that. I will send you that spreadsheet, Sean, and you can look at all the deals that I kind of collected. Monster Hunter Stories 2. It's in gamesplanet.com. That's the deal where I saw, but I'm sure Green Man Gaming, I'm sure Fanatical.
Yeah.
Those
again, it'll probably be the same price on the Steam sale tomorrow, I imagine.
I would think it would be 20 USD.
Right.
Maybe 15. We'll see. Yeah.
Also, I love the fact that Sean's very impressed with the fact that you have a spreadsheet in the chat as well.
Of course. I'm an engineer. Of course I do.
Good God. Well, all right. The next thing I got to bring up, because, Garrett, you know me, it's time for Ryan's annual pitch to try and convince more people to play Final Fantasy XIV. Because, I don't know if you knew this, Garrett, Final Fantasy XIV is, in fact, on sale right now for a pretty gosh darn good price. So you can actually get Final Fantasy XIV, the complete edition. So it includes the base game.
Okay.
It includes all the expansions, including Endwalker, which just came out, in December of last year. Which is also on sale, by the way. If you have Final Fantasy XIV, but you don't for some reason have Endwalker yet, it's also on sale as well. But if you want the entire Final Fantasy XIV collection and 30 days of game time to get you started, it's $39.99 Canadian, which is half off what its normal price is, because this is usually like a $79.99 Canadian purchase, and I think this is a fantastic deal for, again, one of modern gaming's best RPGs. Yes, it's an MMO, but I'm still going to say it about it because this game's amazing, the story is amazing, the characters are amazing, the music's amazing, just everything about it, it's amazing. And it's definitely one of the games that's also, if you want to talk about bang for your buck, like, there's thousands of hours of gameplay here for $39.99, plus, of course, your monthly subscription on top of that, of course. But, yeah, I had to, of course, bring in Final Fantasy XIV and throw that price. The price for that, of course, on PSN for the PlayStation 5 version, and it's actually the same price on the MOG store, which is the Square Enix store for the game as well. So, regardless of where you want to play it, whether PC or console, same price, $39.99 Canadian, or I actually have the US price for this one, $29.99 American. So, again, $10 off.
Nice. That's pretty good. I guess I'll mention another MMO out there that's, widely popular, The Elder Scrolls Online. They have their latest kind of sales going on right now, pretty much everywhere. I found this deal in Green Man Gaming. I think it's still going around, and it's kind of a great deal. You get the game, you get all the previous expansions that they've built up. There's like 4 or 5 of them now, including the current one, the High Isle. That is originally $60. Now it's $16, 63 cents USD. So yeah, if you're into, one of these MMOs, if you're into Elder Scrolls, I would highly recommend ESO, because it's actually one of the stronger MMOs I've played personally. I love going through that world and just getting lost in Elder Scrolls lore. That's a good one. They've been really keeping up with it. So yeah, I would check that out.
And one of the cool things about Elder Scrolls Online, with the fact that it's on sale, is there is no subscription fee for it. So, once you buy the game, that's your cost of entry into the world from there. So yeah, that's like a really good price for Elder Scrolls stuff. I didn't put the expansions on there, but that's actually a pretty good price for Elder Scrolls Online.
Yes.
And again, I think that it's got the same price across the board for the consoles and the PC version, which is nice.
Yeah. They get you with this price because they do have like their own subscription service within the client if you want to do that. And that actually does open up a lot more things to do in terms of your inventory space because I'm sure you know, Ryan, inventory space in MMOs.
Yeah.
That's like a bottleneck. That's a serious bottleneck. And so, of course, they put that behind a subscription paywall. But nonetheless, I digress.
Yeah.
$16. That's a really good deal.
That subscription also includes like all the DLC with it. That like not the expansions themselves, but there are separate packs of DLC within each expansion on top of the expansion itself for Elder Scrolls Online. Which is actually the way it kind of makes its money. So instead of doing the subscription model, it kind of does what The Sims does in a lot of ways, where they do like DLC packs like whenever they update the game that add more content to the game. So that those are included with the subscription, barring the expansions themselves. So that's actually a good deal as well. But speaking of long games, Garrett, I got to get this long game off the chart. And again, this is probably like on your spreadsheet as well. It's Persona 5 Royal. It just came out.
Oh, yes.
For new consoles, because obviously it's been on PlayStation 4 forever. And it's been on sale bajillion times on PlayStation 4. But now it's finally on sale both on PlayStation 5 and then on Switch and on Xbox. Which it's cool because literally it just came to those platforms less than a month ago. And it's already on sale on those platforms, which is pretty sweet. So Persona 5 Royal here in Canada, this is another one where there's a disparity between physical and digital. The physical version is $59.99 for the digital version of the game. Physical for Canada, $44.99 if you wanted to go physical. So physical, definitely a much better deal if you're going to jump into Persona 5 Royal. Obviously, it's also on Game Pass. So, for $1, Garrett, for 3 months, you could conceivably finish Persona 5 Royal in that 3 months.
If you committed full time on it, yes, you can finish in 3 months.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that option. Or, if you know that you don't want to pay for Game Pass beyond that $1. Again, $44.99 for the physical version in Canadian dollars is not a bad way to do it as well. I think that's actually pretty sweet. So, yeah.
I'll mention the USD price of that one. It is 30 USD.
Oh,
physical.
Wow. That's actually
cut
like
in
a
half.
bigger deal than what we get here in Canada.
Yeah, it's cut 50%, and I think PS5 has the Steelbook edition in one of the retailers. So check out Warriors 64's kind of spill with Persona 5 Royal. He has a specific link if you want a Steelbook edition of the game.
Nice.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's not very often you get to see the Steelbook versions of games out on sale. One of my Black Friday purchases, and we'll actually get to, I'll ask about our Black Friday purchases later in the show. But to spoil one of mine, was the Atari 50 collection, which just came out like a week and a half ago. It went on sale here in Canada for $10 off, and I got the Steelbook version for $15 off from Amazon Canada, which is awesome. So I'm so excited to get that in the mail. I think it comes on Wednesday, so I'm actually super excited to get that.
Nice.
Yeah. But
nice.
Anyways, cool. What's another game you want to highlight here, Garrett, before we kind of go through the giant list, because we're not gonna continue to go back and forth like this for the whole show.
Yeah. This will take a while. What I want to mention else is is actually the first Ni no Kuni. Ni no Kuni has actually been on sale for multiple times, but I think this is by far the best deal I've seen for PC, and also Switch has a great deal as well. So for PC, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, is originally $60, of course, retail price for USD, down to $6.30 for Green Man Gaming. So almost 90% off in Green Man Gaming. And then I think pretty much all the official retailers, including Switch, what I see right now, 10 USD. Okay. So you can get on Switch, PlayStation 4, or PC. Yeah. It'll probably be 10 USD.
Nice.
For that. And that's a great get. That's one of that. Actually, I kind of missed this because it originally came out only on the PS3. Didn't have one. I got this later in 2019 along with my Switch Lite. I really adored it. It is I mean, it's kind of like a Pokemon catching game, but it has its own spin, has a Studio Ghibli animation that looks so charming, so fresh. I love the story of this game. All in all, this is a very high quality turn-based. It's actually not turn-based. It's more like active based role-playing game. It was really good. So for almost 90% off, I say go for it.
And please allow me to make this cheap shot, Garrett. At least this is a Pokemon game that runs at 60 frames per second, unlike certain other open world Pokemon games that do not.
Actually, I don't know if it runs on 60 on Switch.
Oh, well, yeah, Ni no Kuni doesn't. You're right. I don't think it does, actually. It does on every other console, though. And in fact, actually, funny enough, if you don't buy Ni no Kuni now, it's actually coming to Game Pass early next year as well. So
oh, really?
There is that option.
I didn't even realize that.
They actually announced that during Tokyo Game Show, that both that and Ni no Kuni 2 are coming to Game Pass next year. It was in that package with like Guilty Gear Strive coming to Xbox and a bunch of other games.
Got it.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Good God.
Wow. Cool.
All right. I see all the punts in chat. Okay, I acknowledge your presence. Swing and a miss from Sean Capri says. Okay, I get that. All right, but either way, I think those are like our three like highlights. The games that you should be targeting.
Those are the big ones. Yeah.
Those are the big ones. But I think there's a lot of games we can really dive into here. So we'll start running some down. So I'll give you maybe 3 here, and then I'll go to Garrett, and we'll go back and forth a little bit here. So Cyberpunk 2077, was a mess when it came out. And, the days of being able to buy Cyberpunk 2077 for $10 are long behind us. You're not going to be able to do that anymore, but you can get it on sale now for a pretty decent price. It's not $10, but it is $29.99 Canadian, which I still think is a pretty good gosh darn deal for, Cyberpunk. I think that game's pretty good. So I wanted to throw it out there. I think it's $19.99 in the States for that one.
It's $29.99 digitally. I don't know physically.
Wait. Maybe so it's cheaper in Canada for Cyberpunk? Yeah. How does that work? Yeah.
Digitally, it's $29.99, and it seems like that's the kind of the low digital sale or whatever. I got that game full price day one. Did not play through it. I need to play through it now because now it's all fixed up.
This is the one time where Canada finally gets to celebrate that it won versus the United States in pricing for anything. Cyberpunk is officially cheaper here in Canada because they marked it at the same price in both territories. Just,
oh my goodness,
cheaper in Canada because of it. But then, I want to throw out there, 2 recent games. Valkyrie Elysium. It's not on sale for a huge amount, but $53.59 is a pretty good price for that game, which I reviewed and actually really, really enjoyed. And I think this was like an $80 game when it came out. I really think that that's one you should look at. Same with Star Ocean: The Divine Force. Literally came out 2 weeks ago. I really enjoyed this one. It might be one of my top 3 RPGs of the year, and it is $63.99. So not the best deal for Star Ocean. It'll probably go on sale again early next year if you wanted to kind of hold off and get a better price for it. But I had to include it here because it's actually a really solid game, and even if you get it for that price, I think it's totally worth it. I think it's a really good get.
Yeah.
But
cool.
Garrett, rattle on some more games. What do you got?
Okay. Skyrim Special Edition. Yes, Special Edition. Don't get the Anniversary Edition for PC because of all the modding, stupid plugin stuff. I would go for the Special Edition. It is $11 on Green Man Gaming. That is fantastic. If you have a Steam Deck, this is perfect for it. And then also on PC, it runs on a potato now. So yeah, I would definitely get Skyrim Special Edition. Tales of Arise is another one I found on PC for $20, 20 USD in Green Man Gaming.
I have that one as well, and I just wanted to throw in a quick note about Tales of Arise, is that if you want to get it on console on sale, unfortunately, all the digital versions of Tales of Arise are the Ultimate Edition of the game, so it's $58 for it Canadian, but it's the Ultimate Edition of the game, so it comes with a ton of DLC stuff and the art book and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Interesting.
So if you're not into that kind of thing, then it's not worth it. Whereas, the game is actually just normal price outside of that. And likewise here in Canada, it's not on sale physically. So this is kind of the only way to get it on sale in Canada for the console version, which is bizarre to me. I don't know why they did that way, but just wanted to add that in there as a quick aside if you went the console route.
That's weird for Canada.
Yeah.
I got the PS5 version for $20 earlier this year.
Yes.
It was just like
you gonna play it
on
eventually.
sale, and I was like, I'm gonna grab. Yeah, I'll play it. Yeah, I do have it. It's still wrapped up, but
we got
I
him,
will
Sean.
play it.
We got Garrett on board to play it at some point.
Got-
It's on tape now.
It wasn't coming.
You can't take it back.
It wasn't coming to Game Pass, man. Like I was like, dang it. And it's like the deal's right there. So yeah, I grabbed it earlier this year. And also Pillars of Eternity 2. And a CRPG. I know we're not into that, but this is a very good one, I hear. On sale for 12 USD on PC, originally 60. So yeah, those are some of the PC deals. Do you want to go back over to you, or I can ramble on some?
I've got
Xbox
some more console stuff
too.
Because I want to mix it up with a little console sales here, Garrett.
Variety.
Because I want to add in Diablo 2 Resurrected, which came out last year, and I think a lot of people actually just didn't pick up when it came out. And it's actually a pretty good port of Diablo 2. It's $29.99 Canadian. I think it's $19.99 American, and that's actually not just for the normal version of the game. It's the like the price I'm quoting for is the like deluxe edition of the game, which comes with some extra stuff. So that's another one actually where that might actually be cheaper in Canada, because I think the base game is also $19.99 here in Canada. But Diablo 2 Resurrected,
that's interesting.
Great game, and again one that I just think people just totally missed out on last year, for some reasons because of the Activision Blizzard stuff that was going on there. So. That's one I wanted to throw in here. Another one that I really enjoyed this year that I got a chance to review was the Deofold Chronicle strategy RPG. That's also a real-time strategy game. Really awesome game from Square Enix. $53.59, so not the greatest deal in the world, but I don't actually see the price of that game going down anytime soon because they just made an announcement this week that they're actually doing a free DLC expansion for the game coming early next year, starring Woltequin, who's one of the playable characters in the game. So until after that expansion comes out, in March of next year, I don't expect that price to get any lower than, $53.59 Canadian, or I think it's $39.99 American. For Deofold, and I think it's a solid game. It's really, really, really good. I really enjoyed it for my review, and it's one that I recommend checking out. And then the last one I throw in here specifically for Garrett Bland, Atelier Ryza 1 and Atelier Ryza 2 are both $39.99 Canadian on the digital side, both on PSN and then as well as on PC. So
just 30 USD on PlayStation and PC.
Yeah, boy. And then they also have if you want the Ultimate Edition and the Deluxe Edition of those are also on sale too for both games. Yeah. So if you want that customizable costumes for Ryza. You
want all the outfits on Ryza. You could certainly, pay a little extra money to dress up however you like with those characters. So
yeah, exactly.
That's Japan for you.
Also, look at us as true influencers, Garrett. Sean Capri says Diablo 2 is in my cart right now.
Oh my gosh, we're enablers. Of course we are.
I'm glad we were able to do that. Garrett, hit me with some more deals though.
Sure. So Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I know it just came out a month ago. And I think it's gonna hold its price a little bit. I think next year would be better. If you're willing to wait now, I would say wait another, at least till a summer sale next year, because they do go down. But there is a deal if you are urging to get it now. Originally $60. It is still $60, but they'll throw in a $10 gift card kind of deal respective to any retailer. I think it's Amazon, Target, Best Buy, GameStop.
Okay.
Any of those retailers, go to Wario64's page. He has all the links about it. I think one of them may include Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, the first one. So go check that out. And then I just saw on Nintendo, the US side of it, the Gold Edition, which includes the Season Pass that will release next year, originally going for 90, I think, 90 USD or 80 USD. Sorry, I haven't looked. It was just right now. But it's down to $70, which is pretty good deal. You're getting $10 off or $20 off, whatever the price is. And the Season Pass looks pretty good. I love the Season Pass of the first one. So they do have a deal for that.
They got
if
the
you wanna
deals
go for it. So there's that. And then also, let me throw in some extra ones that kind of like caught my eye. Digimon Survive has been going on sale, and I've been eyeing it on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, down to 35 USD physically, which is pretty good, almost half off. And then Elden Ring, Elden Ring is very hard to find on sale, because it's well regarded and they don't want to knock down the price.
Well, it's not just that; it's selling so well, like they'd be silly to put it on sale.
Selling so well, yeah, of course. But it is down to 40 USD, physically, for at least I think it's for PS5. So at least there's that. If you want to go check that out.
Nice. Some good stuff there.
I'll throw it over to you, Ryan.
Well, I got some more stuff from the Xbox store specifically. So we got Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition. So all the expansion packs,
that's pretty good,
as well as Fallout 4, 13 Canadian dollars or $9.99 American. That's a pretty gosh darn deal. I almost kind of want to buy that because I don't have the expansions for Fallout 4, and it's cheaper just to buy that than to buy the expansions by themselves. So
that's actually almost a cup of coffee here in San Francisco. 13 Canadian dollars.
It kind of is. I kind of want to buy that now that I've kind of talked myself into that a little bit. Now, a game that kind of borders on an RPG a little bit, that I actually reviewed on this channel with Donnie Reese, of all people. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which is a Dragon Ball RPG. It is an action RPG. You do get it falls under all the RPG stats and categories.
It is. Yeah.
$20 Canadian. And it also is getting tons of DLC because they actually just announced a new expansion pack for it that's coming. That includes like a new Bardock set of DLC and then 2 more story-based pieces of DLC coming after that. They also did the 2 Dragon Ball Super movies as DLC packs for the game already, plus the Trunks saga as well. So really, really good deal for that. Of course, you'd have to buy all that stuff separately, but that game's getting a ton of support. And then one of my favorite games from earlier this year, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which I just really, really enjoyed. $39.99 Canadian for that one. Really, really good game. Really solid deal.
I want to get that on PC though.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It will be on. I think it's probably going to end up on the PC sale at some point, or at least on Steam, right? I'm guessing
it's been on sale on Steam. Maybe they'll continue that throughout Black Friday, the fall. So yeah, that's pretty good. I've been aiming for that. I don't know. I've been hesitant to get that game. We'll see. I've been looking at the Xbox as well, and actually, I kind of pulled some deals from yesterday, so maybe they're a little expired. I don't know. But this is what I saw. Witcher 3 Complete Edition for 10 USD digitally on Xbox. Go get it.
Important to note. Yeah, it includes the next gen update. Yeah.
Next gen update coming like in a month.
Yeah.
Like not even a month, I think. So go check that out. It will be fully nice, upgraded to the current gen consoles. It's going to look great. I also want to recommend the Dragon Age games, even though 1 and 2 are on Game Pass through EA Play, and maybe Inquisition as well.
Yeah, they're all 3 of them are.
Yeah. Okay, cool. There's also super cheap if you don't have them. $8 for Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition. Excuse me. And Dragon Age 1 and 2, they're $3.74 and $5 respectively. So yeah, go check that out. And then lastly, South Park Stick of Truth and Fractured Butthole combo pack together, both of them, 23 USD on Xbox.
That's pretty sweet.
That's a pretty good deal for 2 really great RPGs. Actually, still need to play Fractured Butthole, but Stick of Truth was very, very fun.
Yeah,
I laughed so much.
I definitely didn't like Fractured Butthole as much, but I still think it's a good game especially for that price. Like, oh man, that's actually a pretty good deal as well if you don't have those already. So I only have a couple more that I kind of want to add here because, like I said, I'm mostly focused on consoles, and I don't think we had a ton of really good console sales. I think this year. for RPGs. But I do have two more that I wanted to include here. Starting with a game that I actually recommend all the time, and that is The Ruined King, a League of Legends story. This is actually one of my favorite RPGs from last year. And, it's not the first time it's gone on sale. It's been on sale a few times. But you can get the game now for 20 Canadian dollars, which is half off. And then actually, if you want the deluxe edition, it's only $5 more with some extra bonus content if you want to go down that route. But then, Garrett, actually, this is going to be, maybe my answer to a question later, we'll see, is another game that's on Game Pass. But I think the price is so good for it with a specific version of the game that I actually think it's worth getting, and that's Scarlet Nexus from Bandai Namco.
Okay.
Another game from last year that I really enjoyed. But what they did after the game came out is they actually launched a season pass for the game, which actually included a bunch of DLC for the game that gave you some extra chapters towards the end of the game, and all that DLC content. I actually went back and played this year and really enjoyed it. So if you're interested in checking that out, the Ultimate Edition for Scarlet Nexus is 70% off. So it's normally 133 Canadian dollars. It's 33 Canadian dollars. So $100 off the Scarlet Nexus Ultimate Edition. And again, it includes the season pass and the base game and a bunch of other cosmetic DLC that was part of the deluxe edition as well. I think that it's actually like a really good deal for Scarlet Nexus. So even though it's on Game Pass, I actually think like the season pass alone is that price. And it's also that price on PlayStation as well. So I mean, if you have a PlayStation and don't have an Xbox with Game Pass, like scoop this one up. This game is awesome, and I think it's worth that price.
Oh, sounds good. Also want to mention Ruined King. I also had that on my list. Half off in the US side, 15 USD.
Nice.
On PlayStation, and I think on other retailers as well. So definitely keep an eye on that.
Before you keep going,
the last
question from Sean Capri in the chat. Triangle Strategy is 1/3 off or 30% off on Green Man Gaming. Should he get it?
Yes.
That game's really good. I actually didn't have Triangle Strategy on my list because I didn't see that it was on sale, because it's not on sale on console.
Me neither.
It's only on sale on PC.
Yeah.
From the looks of it.
I didn't see it on sale for PC either, but I need to go back and finish it. On my Switch.
That's why I wanted to make sure we acknowledge that, because that game is really good.
Yeah, what I played of it, really, really high quality. It performs very well compared to another current RPG I'm playing.
I don't see which one you'd be talking about, Garrett. That could be anything.
I don't know. You may have seen videos.
I may have watched a little show called Shack this week.
Oh my gosh, that game. Anyways, I just want to mention the last few games on Steam that I saw last minute here on GamesPlanet.com. Other Side. Now this game actually is a turn-based tactical roguelite RPG. It's a very different vibe to it. It's like you kind of recruit certain women, and these women have like, you can build up their classes, and then you kind of send them out into the field, and then it's like an endless run of tactical role playing, and each of them have their own special skills, and you can actually make them expendable. You can like make sure it inherits skills, kind of like Rogue Legacy, where it inherits skills to another soldier if you want, to make like the perfect team for you to go deeper deeper and deeper throughout this run. Very cool game. I actually got it a few years back. It's originally 30 USD on Steam. It is down to 13. It is also on Xbox. I know that for sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think PlayStation, but it is definitely on Xbox. So it may be on sale over there. So go check out that one. I think that one is pretty cool. And then last but not least, Monster Hunter Rise.
Yes.
Excuse me. Been going on sale for quite some time. I think this is a very good deal. It's Monster Hunter Rise plus the Sunbreak DLC, which is this major DLC pack expansion that they kind of opened up this year. Originally 70 USD together on Steam. It is cut in half to 35 USD. I know there's a big sale on it also on Nintendo eShop. Let me check real quick if they even
That's a
have it.
pretty good deal for that, especially because again, Sunbreak just came out a few months ago, and I know it's been selling well. So I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised that they're going with that deep of a discount for it that soon.
Yeah, they've been doing really deep discounts for the Capcom games on Steam. I don't know how they kind of cut it down like a lot, but they do it very often on Steam and other third-party retailers.
That's true. The Resident Evil games go on sale so often, Garrett, that it makes my head spin sometimes. And it's only fresh in my mind because, of course, Sean and I are going to actually be talking about the Resident Evil deals this week, so we can kind of break down to him, okay, what's the Resident Evil games Sean should be buying for Black Friday, which will be fun. But
you should get 8, I guess. I don't know.
That's true.
Or 7.
So Garrett, I just have to throw this last one out there before we kind of move on the conversation. Of course, the RPG of the year. Let me tell you what, me and Court Lalonde really enjoyed talking about this one. Gotham Knights, the RPG of the year, on for 55 Canadian dollars. Go get that. No. Court said it himself when we talked about that price on the review. He's like, that's still too much money. So, yeah. That'll be a good game when it's like $40 or when they've improved a little bit more. But there you go.
Cool.
That's a lot of games for people to check out. So those are the games that should be on your radar this Black Friday. But before we kind of move to listener questions and stuff like that, I'm going to go ahead and ask the question, what did we get for Black Friday? Did we get anything? Do we have any games on our list that we are going to pick up for Black Friday? What are we going to do for Black Friday? But to give Garrett some time to take a breath for a second, because he just talked a whole lot. I'll tell you what I got on Black Friday, first of all, because I didn't actually pick up any RPGs on Black Friday. Because I've been playing a little game. You might have heard of it, Garrett, called The Sims 4. It's a really fun game on consoles. I've been playing a lot. And I've had some of the expansions for the Sims 4, but there's a lot that I didn't buy because they're actually usually fairly expensive. Like they range in like the $40 to $50, total here in Canada for a lot of the Sims expansions. But they're all anywhere between 50 to 66% off right now. So I ended up just buying all of them. It's all the ones that I didn't have, I now officially own them, which was only 8 in total. Goodness. So I ended up spending less than $100 to get every remaining Sims 4 expansion that I needed, which is 8 of them. So I now am finally fully kitted. Now, here's the thing, to answer Kato's question in the chat. I didn't get all of the smaller like clothing and accessory packs, just the major expansion packs. I have all of them now, plus the werewolf and vampire packs, as well as the dog and cat pack. So I have all that stuff now. Basically, I've got everything I ever wanted in The Sims 4, and it actually plays like a new game now, where like there's like weather in the game now. Like it's the middle of winter in my Sims world, and there's like snow outside. So I'm like having snowball fights with my 64 children out in the backyard with our rocket ship. Oh man,
that's a dream.
It's a great game. It's a great game. So that was the main thing that I picked up already on Black Friday. And then I've been eyeing some other stuff. I am actually probably going to snap up this Fallout deal. Because like I mentioned to you before, I do want to go back and play that DLC because I never played it.
The DLC is good.
So yes, I think I'm actually going to snap up that DLC for $10. I think that's kind of a no-brainer for me personally. And then other than that, for the most part, I kind of have all the other games that are already on sale. Which is kind of a bummer because it's one of those things where when I'm, reviewing so many games for Carpool, I tend to get them, close to launch or at launch. So when sale time comes around, I usually just don't have as much stuff to check out. But I am going to be picking up an RPG this week. This Way Madness Lies from our friends over at Zboyd Games, their new game. The makers of Carbide Star Heroine. It just came out last week, and I think it's only $10. So I'm actually super excited to
it's pretty cheap.
Get that this week. So it's kind of like a Black Friday deal, honorary Black Friday deal for This Way Madness Lies. But now that I've explained my Sims 4 madness to you, Garrett, what are you going to pick up Black Friday? Are you picking up anything? Did you pick up anything already?
I'm checking it out. I didn't. I'm waiting for the PC stuff until Steam rolls around, and then I'll kind of assess the playing field here. I'm also waiting for a little item that's coming to me later this week, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I actually did pick up a couple of games that were already on sale. There is a PlayStation sale, a big one going around, at least for the first party games. And I did get Horizon Forbidden
Yes.
West.
That's a good one.
Got it covered with gift cards on Best Buy. And I did get the PS4 version because that stupid Jim Ryan, he gave us the free upgrade. He promised us. And so that's what I got. You're not going to fool me, Sony, with $10 more.
But you have the wrong label on your game, Garrett, because now it's going to stand out on your shelf forever as a PS4 game when it's actually you're playing on your PS5.
I have plenty of PS4 games.
The hilarious thing is, like, I know so many people who bought the PS5 physical version just for that logic, because they're like, no, I don't like the way that the PS4 one will look on my shelf, and I will pay the extra $10 for that.
Of course they did. So I did get that. I also grabbed, covered with rewards, Microsoft rewards, fully covered gift card. I got on sale Dying Light 2.
Nice.
So I love the first one, so can't wait to try out the second one on Xbox. Yeah, those are probably the two big ones, both covered by gift cards, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. We'll see how the Steam sales go, and then I'll assess where I'm gonna get my PC games and see if I'll get any.
At least now you can get Donnie off your back too. You can't just keep railing on you for not playing Dying Light 2 anymore at this point.
Oh really? He railed on me for that?
But I know Donnie was trying to get a lot of people to get that game. Although I'm actually kind of surprised because, like, No More Heroes was on sale. No More Heroes 3. And I'm actually kind of surprised he wasn't telling everyone to go buy that game.
He doesn't advertise that one.
Oh,
actually. He prefers, like, let's go to the PC.
Yeah.
For this one.
Good point.
Because the Switch performance is rough. And okay, Console Kato in the chat. I know a lot of chat stuff, but we got some awesome messages going on. She says, "I'm tempted to get Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Go get it."
Yeah, press that button.
Kato, press the button. Go play it. Go stream it. I will support you. I will support you from beginning to end. Pick your house. Just go through it, have a blast. Fire Emblem 3 Houses, super good. I wish 3 Hopes was on sale. It's actually not on the eShop. 3 Hopes is the Koei Tecmo spinoff that came out earlier this year. I do see it for 40 USD physically, but man, I would rather get it digitally. I've waited so long, like I would rather do that. And man, they did not have a sale, which was kind of a bummer. I'll have to wait a little more for cut in price for that.
The hilarious thing about that is that if you actually look at the Canadian flyer for GameStop for all the games that are on sale, there's a section of it that specifically is like $79.99, which is the normal price for Switch games, and like that's one of the games that's pictured in that box. So it's like, by the way, we got all these sales, but you can get this game at its normal price. It's in there. It's in that box with like Bayonetta 3 and a couple other games. So I just thought that was hilarious. But yeah, just throwing it out there. Kind of RPG-ish. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is 75% off. That's a dang good deal for that. I almost said I swear. That's such a good deal. But yeah, that's a good deal as well. Also, Valhalla is also on sale as well if you're interested in that. But I usually don't, like to throw lump Assassin's Creed games in with the RPGs a lot.
Did you hear Valhalla's coming to Steam? And that'll be a big one. So, yeah, look out.
And it's got that final chapter coming soon. That's exciting as well. I still haven't gone back for any of the DLC for Valhalla. I should do that at some point because
it's like its own a game within itself. Another 40 hours of your time.
I mean, I did beat that game. I beat that game in less than a week and a half originally, and I'm like, I don't know if I ever need to go back to this experience again. Back. Yeah. Because I mean, putting 80 hours into a game in a week and a half is never a good idea. It's just throwing it out there.
That's rough.
Life advice. Advice.
You got to be really into a game and to enjoy.
But in the middle of after I got past the first, couple hours, I was really, really into that game. Like I was like all about it. There was like a certain section that I didn't really love in the middle, but for the most part, like I was really into. Like I didn't play that game that much by accident. It was because I was actually also really enjoying it. Like no one forced me to do that. Like that was an unforced error on my end. So there you go. But anyways,
Sean, he's telling about these deals about our Assassin's Creed games. The Odyssey and Valhalla are on Game Pass. Wait, no, Valhalla is gonna be on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's not
or
yet.
something like that, right? Yeah, Odyssey is on Game Pass. Why do you care?
I don't know.
Is it the PC thing? I think it's really like you want everything in one kind of ecosystem, I guess. I sometimes feel that though. So
Yo, mostly Martinez in here with a super chat, jumping in there for $5 and says, "Hey, can I get a hey for $5 US? Hey, mostly Martinez. Hello. That's your hey. Or at least Garrett, you want to throw a hey out at him?
Oh, hey, thanks, mostly Martinez for the 5 USD.
What a nice young man. Look at that. Look at that. This is very nice. So Kato says, sometimes we like to own things, Garrett. Sometimes. Also, I laughed that The Witcher 2, Sean points out, is $3 on Xbox Live Arcade. But that game was actually free for a year that you could have claimed.
That's true.
And they actually made it so you have to pay for that game again. So I never think about that game as a game that's not free, because I just remember like that entire year that was free. And it's just kind of ingrained in my memory that game's a free game all the time.
Witcher 2 is like, if you played Witcher 3, Witcher 2 is like, it's really, really rough.
It's hard. It's really hard to go back to that or the original Witcher. Like, that's why I'm so glad they're doing the Witcher remake. Cause like, I feel like that's really going to really help people actually see the beginning of this franchise in a way that they should have been able to the first time. Cause like, even when it first came out, like people were like, yeah, the story is great, but man, it does not play well. Like even back then. So yeah. God, I remember like when XPlay did a review for it and everything, and it was a whole thing. But anyways, we asked the community what they were buying for Black Friday or what they were interested in picking up as well. So we're going to go to Skycatcher Gaming, who said Black Friday started out early here in the United States. Best Buy had sales all weekend. They picked up Harvestella, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, and of course, Taiko no Tatsujin, Rhythm Festival. Those are 3 really solid games right there. I know Harvestella, Lachlan is in the process of reviewing that for us, and I hear really good things about that game.
Sleeper hit.
Yeah.
I heard it's good.
And Stranger of Paradise. Garrett's already heard me regale about how that game's actually pretty good earlier in this year. But we got that. Great. And then Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival is one that I actually really want to pick up on Switch, but I haven't seen it on sale here in Canada. So I've kind of been waiting for it to go on sale before I pick it up, because that's like the Taiko drum game on Switch.
The drum game, yeah.
Yeah. And it has a subscription service as well, where you get access to 500 songs for it, Garrett. And a lot of the songs too are like anime songs, which of course just speaks to me, Ryan Turford, who loves anime. But yeah. Wow,
they exploited the subscription service already with this rhythm game. I know Just Dance does that with the they do their own subscription service with their songs, but yeah, interesting to hear this one does it too.
I mean, the true originator, of course, was Guitar Hero Live, when Activision brought the Guitar Hero FMV game to Xbox One and PS4, where it was, footage of you playing guitar and looking out at a virtual audience, like through FMVs and played.
No.
Oh, it was a thing. It was a thing, Garrett. I choose not to ignore it because I actually like that game a lot. It had some good music in it. The other response we got is actually from Nagachaka, which actually isn't Black Friday submission. He says, who needs Black Friday sales when there's Game Pass? So the question is, which RPG that's currently on Game Pass should people be playing right now? And you can only pick one RPG to recommend. So lots of RPGs on Game Pass to choose from.
That's true.
Now, here's the thing. The obvious answer, of course, is Persona 5 Royal. But I kind of want to strike that from the record because that's too easy for us.
That's very easy.
I want to throw a degree of challenge in here a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to bend the rules a little bit. because Nagachaka said I can only recommend one game. However, the top game that I want to recommend is actually only available to you if you have Game Pass Ultimate. So I will say the name of that game, and that game being Dragon Age Origins. Shout out to Sean Capri in the chat, by the way, because Dragon Age Origins, really fantastic Xbox 360 game. It got some good enhancements, and it looks really good on Series X or One X if you're going to play it that way. I think it's a great Game Pass game. Of course, it's super cheap on the Black Friday sale, so you can pick it up super cheap as it is. But at the same time, it's not available to everyone who subscribes to Game Pass, because not everyone subscribed to Ultimate. So I want to throw out the other one, which I talked about earlier. It's Scarlet Nexus from Bandai Namco. An awesome action RPG. I really enjoyed that game. Fantastic music, cool characters, kind of a weird story, but I kind of dug it in the most anime way possible. And I definitely want to give that the shout out as probably like my favorite RPG that's currently on Game Pass that isn't named Persona 5 Royal. So there you go. Garrett, what do you got for me? Do you have a Game Pass example you want to throw out there?
So I have the Game Pass app on my phone ready to go, and I scrolled all the way down and picked the role-playing button just to see what kind of games are out there. Dragon Quest 11S. Still in there. There's still a lot of hours to play. I've been wanting to get to it sometime, but it's just such a huge time sink. Also, all the Bethesda RPGs are on there. Skyrim, Fallout. You got Mass Effect Legendary Edition. That's a huge get as well. Lots of smaller games. Ni no Kuni is already on Game Pass. That's what I'm saying. So,
I think it's on Game Pass for PC, not for console.
Okay.
Because it's not on Xbox. It's not. It hasn't been released for Xbox yet. I don't think. Unless I could be wrong. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna cross-reference that while you keep talking.
I think you're right. I'm just trying to think of other things. The Outer Worlds is a great Obsidian RPG that is on Game Pass. Wasteland 3 is another one. So if I had to pick one, actually, all the way down the list, I had to pick one. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Very solid game. Very solid turn-based role-playing game. I played it mostly all the way through. It was a launch game on Series X and Series S. It plays great on cloud, actually, in touch controls. So I would definitely check that out. Nice. For sure.
So,
Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's my pick.
Correction from Ryan Turford in the press poll. Hi, Ryan Turford. Thanks for acknowledging us. I looked it up. Ni no Kuni did, in fact, come to Xbox already. So I was actually wrong about that earlier in the show as well. Wrath of the White Witch is, in fact, on Xbox now, and it came in early September. So actually, when they announced Ni no Kuni 2 was coming to Xbox next year, that they released Ni no Kuni 1 on Game Pass the same day. I totally forgot about that. Like, I forgot that was a thing. I thought it was still waiting to come out. So shows what I know. I just don't know enough about Xbox. Sean Capri, feel free to come over here and take my Xbox Drive card away from me at this point. I'm steering us into the ditch.
There you go.
But there you go. I think that's going to do it for this look at Black Friday sales. Again, I think there's a lot to choose from. And I also think there will be even more variety tomorrow when the Steam sale launches. So we'll be sure to kind of check that out as well. But yeah, some good stuff here. So before we go, Garrett, plugs go.
You can follow me at Twitter at Blind Explosion. You can also find me on the Nintendo Shack, part of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network, where we're live each and every Friday nights, including this week. Yes, we're over on Black Friday. We're over at twitch.tv/PSVG and also on YouTube. And we release on all podcast services, the Googles, the YouTubes, the Apples, Spotify's. So go check us out over there. And that's pretty much it.
Nice. Are you now? Oh, speaking of socials, Garrett, we got to at least mention this. Are we on Hive yet? Is that a thing? Are you going over to Hive yet? I saw you create a profile over there. What's happening with this?
The thing is with this is, I think everyone's kind of going over just to test it out,
right,
and see how it kind of plays with it. I find it more experimental than anything. That's why I'm not like, touting, hey, find me on Hive or whatever. It's more like, if you find me there, that's great. You can follow me if you want, but it's not going to be like, I don't know. I'm just not going to be too Like, it's meant to be a closer kind of sphere rather than Twitter. Twitter's like kind of like I'm jumping to everything, including the outside the gaming sphere. So yeah, Hive is a thing. It's pretty jank on Android actually. So
yeah, that's why like I installed it today for the first time and added myself. By the way, Ryan Turford on Hive. By the way, you can go find me there.
Yes, Planet Explosion on Hive.
Yeah, so we're on Hive, but it's just like I'm glad I at least claimed my name for now. So then when the app is not jank anymore, I can then use it, assuming people are still using it, 2 weeks from now. So we'll find out if that's the new hottest. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. And you also find me here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, playing Sonic Frontiers like a madman. You can also find us on Twitter at Carpool Gaming, as well as right here at youtube.com/Carpool Gaming on podcast services around the globe. So for Garrett Bland, I am Ryan Turford. This has been the 72nd level of the RPG Cave, and we're out.
Bye-bye.